all she had to do is keep her mouth shut. Oh man. Everybody, I'm Invisiblekatana, and of course, the news has been buck wild today. I'm wearing this jacket, and we got, little Grogu here. I just did a video for some Star Wars Celebration stuff. It's this jacket, this, and I got one other thing, so you guys can check that out if you want to. I have it as an end card video. Figured I'd just leave it on just because. And, also my daughter's here. She's asleep. And we're matching, but obviously you can't see. Yeah, she's asleep. Hopefully she doesn't wake up, and then I have to actually edit. Real work, So, yesterday, I'm on Twitter, and I think it was about like 5 or 6 or something, and we're hanging out. She's flipping out. I'm trying to calm her down. Blah blah blah. And I think it was the initial tweet that was posting, what she showed on Instagram or what she put up on Instagram, and I was just like, I just needed to keep her effing mouth shut. Like, I want this character in this show. I need my continuity. I hate, I don't want my story to just be like, and she went on a mission and she died. The new Rangers show, everyone was assuming like, oh, she would lead that, right? Because she just got, the spoilers, of course. They're like random spoilers here and there. But, she got like the medallion and stuff, and she's the new sheriff in town and all that. So it was like, of course she'd be like one of the leads. That would kind of be her branching off thing for, the Rangers. I think Rangers of the New Republic or whatever they were calling it. It was like, well, she'd be one of the Rangers, right? Because that makes perfect sense. And I found out today that she was supposed to, I assume that it was that show. The stuff I read didn't specify like which show it was, but she was supposed to be specifically a lead in her own show. And then they changed that back in November. Or I guess that was supposed to happen, for the investment call, and then they decided not to do that for the stuff in November. So she was definitely supposed to have that, and of course it's all the other tweets and all the issues that have been going back and forth with people arguing with her, trying to pressure her into stuff and misunderstanding stuff, her doing stuff, which was some stuff I thought she took a little too far. She definitely screwed up in the aspect of all eyes on her type of situation. Like the thing I've been seeing all day today, which is just like, yeah, I get it. They want a tough woman until they actually meet one. And I've been seeing that comment a bunch. So I'm like all over the place. So no matter who you are or where you stand in this thing, like, lover or hater or whatever, you're probably going to be upset in this video. Because I'm going to say stuff that I disagree with you on. And I'll say stuff that I agree with you on. A lot of people were like, I'm totally for this or totally for that. Everybody, all these crazy extremes. I just like Star Wars. Like, no offense to Gina Carano. I don't care much about her personally. But I really like Cara Dune. And I really love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Hence the ridiculous outfit I'm wearing right now. I even got my dark side PJs on. So, I saw the first post, and I was just thinking, like, I just needed to stop. I just needed to stop talking because it's getting real. Like, it's been too many. Apparently, it's been too many moments. It was one too many, and so it kept going. And I was just like, I needed to stop because about 1:55 in the morning. Got her to sleep because she was just screaming her head off. Maybe she was sensing the disturbance in the force. I don't know. So finally got her to sleep. I was like, let me take a little time for myself. Do some nerd stuff. Hop online. Hopped on Twitter. #cancel Disney Plus. So I didn't instantly go to the Gina stuff. I was just like, let me see what this is about. And so I was scrolling through, and it was just, people just commenting on it and random stuff. And then I saw Gina Carano fired. And I was like, nah, let me check. Let me double check. And of course I checked, and it was the case. And it was just like, okay. So this is where we are now. So first off, I don't think she should be fired. That's just my personal opinion. And that's more so due to the fact that it's just like, she said some dumb stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, especially as a combination, it was some stuff she said that was kind of dumb, and then the other combination was her genuinely being tough, like physically and mentally. Like, she was standing up to the people that were bullying her, which are some of the people who were just, as some people say, the lefties and all that crap. I don't say dumb terms like that because it's idiotic to me personally. I don't say stuff like that. It's just that idiot said that, and they happen to be, liberal. So that idiot or those idiots said that. I don't personally think it's, because trust me, everyone's an idiot as far as I'm concerned. So I was like, okay. Bunch of people were doing stupid stuff. She's even said before, like, the reason she does the beep bop boop thing, which I was like, that was the first thing I was like, she's really poking this bear, and it was just funny to me. Like, it was on that epically petty level, but even though she specified it, she did specify, like, I'm not doing this specifically to target to say like I'm against transgender people and stuff. Like she even had an actual post where she mentioned like I specifically spoke to Pedro Pascal about this, and he explained why. Now I get it. And then the beep bop boop stuff was specifically for the people that kept trying to push her and bully her into doing it, which once again, like, obviously people will say like, it's the woke side or whatever. For me personally, it's like, you're just dumb if you do that in general. Like, you're just an idiot if you do that. So it's like, she didn't want to do it. She doesn't have to do it because who the F cares? The personal opinion, who the F cares? She explained that she gets it now. She explained that she's not against people. She explained that she specifically only did that for the people that were bothering her. The problem is, you gotta be aware of the internet and how people are stupid. Nobody cares about research. And that's on all sides. Like, I don't care. Everyone on every single side does not do research. I saw that thing, and that is that. It's like, I heard it. It's like, but I said I heard it. And that's pretty much how the internet works. Specifically Twitter. More than anything, that's how Twitter works. Because it's like a trillion people doing it all at one time. And so, even though she had the explanations, it's the same as literally anything. Like, it's not like she's the first person that has to deal with this. There are tons of people where it's like, they're vilified. And it's like, I'm 100% innocent. And then it's like, just destroyed. Pages and pages, articles and articles. And then it's like, that one little speck was like, actually it was kind of innocent. It's like, what? Forget it. It's like, that's how the internet works. It's like, you are a monster. And then and that's how it is. That's how it works. Even if you explain it yourself, it doesn't matter. And that's pretty much how it worked. It was like her kind of pushing the bear, poking the bear a little bit, and then people being douchebags. And then she was like, well, I'm going to fight against you. But then she was kind of losing the fact that people weren't getting the explanation. And I think she was also missing the fact that she was in a huge spotlight. And I think she should have been a bit more careful considering her position on the show and how many people were kind of coming at her and coming at Disney like, oh, please fire her and all this crap. So there's definitely blame to be placed on both sides for sure. I personally feel, obviously there are going to be some people who are super pissed off, and some people who are just super happy about it. I'm kind of right in the middle. I'm like, she definitely did some stuff where she could have just been like, okay, I'll just kind of back off of that because it's not really, pick your battles is a very easy thing to do. It's like, sometimes it's not worth fighting because honestly, as a part of it, like the whole internet thing, I really think was her biggest mistake. I feel like she was fighting because that's what she does and she's good at it, physically and mentally. And I think that was the problem, is that she kept fighting when she should have took a second to be like, oh, hold on. There are just too many dumb people who are just going to see like the homophobic, transphobic crap and then be like, that's totally who she is. And then that's it. Honestly, I think there's a majority of people. And I think that was where she really screwed up, is that she didn't consider the fact that no matter how many times she explains it, once someone doesn't like you, most of the time, I should say, they're going to do the research to figure it out. Like, it's just going to be like, oh, okay, I saw that 5 times. And it's like, that doesn't mean it's true. Like, there are tons of things that people just assume. For instance, bringing it around to Star Wars. Luke, I am your father. Not a line in Star Wars. But everybody says it that way. Like, there are tons of misconceptions about things. And it's just like, well, that's what everybody else said it was, so that must be it. So you must be a bad person if 100 people said it. But that's because it's the internet. 1 million people could say it just like that now. That's the technology we have. And that instantaneous reaction kind of destroys validity these days. On both sides of the fence, as far as I'm concerned. Like, based on everything I've been seeing, it doesn't matter what side you're on. There's just those super far, way out there extremes where it's like, you're just dumb. You're the same dumb, just on up. Like, it's just like this. Like, trust me, it's extreme dumb on both ends. So, unfortunately, that's where we are. I think way too many people didn't do the research to realize, like, oh, she explained it. She didn't understand it at first. She gets it now. She did the beep bop boot thing, which I think I still find it funny because it was like, that's my level of petty, where I'm like, that's something I could see myself doing, where it's like, oh, I'm just to piss you off. But she even explained it specifically. It's to piss off the people that do not understand she cannot want to do that, because it's literally on Twitter. Like, people were coming at her on Twitter to put it in her bio. For what? Like, how pathetic do you have to be for that to be like the hill you're dying on? It makes no sense to me. Like, it's weird. It's super weird. And that just kind of gets lost in the fray of all the madness. And so, once again, you have people that don't specifically interact with her and don't specifically look into that information, and then they just see kind of like the 3rd layer out or 4th or 5th layer out, and it's like, oh man, she sucks. And then that just spreads, and that's kind of where we are. And then she kept fighting, and she didn't realize that you can't you almost can't fight a wrong explanation on the internet. That's kind of how it is. It doesn't matter what the truth is. After a certain amount of time, you just kind of have to be like, okay, and then just cool. And then of course, the last tweet, that kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, if you will. That was the thing that kind of just did it. Once again, no matter who you are, you're probably going to hate me because I'm going to agree with some stuff and disagree with others. First thing, it's not anti-Semitic. That was dumb that anybody said that because it's very specifically not anti-Semitic. But I do agree that it was kind of a dumb thing to put. For one, being the whole spotlight stuff and like the continuous issues she's had just dealing with people on the internet. I think she just kept fighting, and that was something that she definitely should have considered. Should I post this? Because of course people are going to come after me. Now I'll also say this. I think it's dumb to say her being fired proves her point in the post. I'm like, I don't think it does. I think that's kind of a stupid thing to say too, because even though I understand what she's saying, where it's like, it's the government. Okay, making sure. It's the government that kind of rile people up and things like that. It's still not really an apt comparison to say, and I get, it's like the government is doing this and doing that, but it's not really the same. People choose to go to a specific political party. Like, it's not really just the government told you this and the government told you that, which they kind of did. But you still choose. And it goes down that exact same rabbit hole of people choosing to look into things or people not choosing to look into things. On both sides of the fence, by the way, because just so I can make sure everybody's pissed. But I don't, personally, I was just like, that's probably like a little too far of an exaggeration. And of course, people have done that a bunch. I mean, that's a bunch of people have even pointed out. Pedro Pascal has said that about Trump supporters and stuff like that. And while there may actually be Nazis who are Trump supporters, to go, full on absolute, as Obi-Wan might say, not the coolest thing to do. And it does definitely bring up a lot of questions where it's like, he said that a bunch. You got to question things. You have to ask, because despite the issues that she's had kind of dealing with people on the internet, he has said stuff and he hasn't gotten into arguments with people. And so I wonder if it's just because people didn't care, or is it because of the Disney people that didn't care? And I would say it's not as much Disney, or technically they said it was Lucasfilm that did it. I wouldn't say that it's actually the company that cares what she says specifically. I really think it's just, well, dang, everybody's pissed off and she keeps making people mad. And I think that was really it. I don't think, and a bunch of people, like this, how they say, especially them saying like it proves her point. The fact that this was like the fourth or fifth thing that people have been like super, like, it's not like this is the very first thing. This is like fourth strike, type of stuff. So I think the fact that she's just gotten in so much hot water, really with the internet, which shouldn't have much basis, but that's just the world we live in now. I think that's what really did it. It wasn't what she actually said. Because I even saw a tweet where someone was like, if this was the first thing, it basically would have been like the first reaction where people were like, I don't really agree with that. That was kind of, that's a harsh, like, that's a really odd way, stance to look at things. So I thought, I was like, yeah, that's how I feel about it too. I'm like, if this was the first thing, people would have had their issues, like, oh, fire her. It would have been the first time people said to fire and stuff like that. But this was like the third or fourth time that people have been having issues with her, and her, like I said, just being in that spotlight and not just kind of taking the backseat, especially just because she's one of the main faces of the show, especially. I think that was really a big thing. I don't think Disney really gives a crap, because let's face it, no company ever really does. They want their money, and it's like, oh, you're the face. Okay, well, some people are like this. Okay, you've done like 3 or 4 things, and people are like starting to get on our case. But we'll see how it plays out, because with the way Twitter has been and all the YouTube videos I saw today, there's been a lot of people saying they'll cancel Disney Plus. I will not. I don't care enough. There's not a chance. I'm watching Star Wars. Sorry, I don't give a fuck. I'm not nearly enough to not watch The Mandalorian. I don't care. I want my story. It doesn't, as much as it sucks and as crazy as things have been, on both sides of it, I'm like, I wish things didn't go this way in the end. I wish they didn't really start off this way. I wish there wasn't confusion. I wish there weren't the continuous, back and forth issues. I wish the internet could just be like, here are facts. But humans don't care about facts that much. That's just life. So here we are. And personally, I'm going to keep watching The Mandalorian. There's no way in the world I'm canceling Disney Plus because this happened. I don't know if this will work, though. I know there are a lot of people that said, they will not purchase any Disney stuff and things like that. I don't think it'll matter. Because in all honesty, as angry as people get, And they always say, and this is both sides of the fence once again, as angry as people get and they say, I will never do this and I'll never do that, nobody actually cares that much. Like, there's always, this huge swell of emotion and things like that. And then ultimately, everyone kind of just goes back to their lives. That's just humans. That's human nature. Everyone will just go back to normal. And it'll be like, man, I really wish they didn't do that. But eventually something's going to happen and you'll want to find out. Because that's how it goes. And, some people just won't pay for it. They'll pirate it. And that's kind of the thing. It's like, you'll watch it, but you won't pay for it. And it's like, if you really were that hard pressed, truly, you just wouldn't watch it at all. Like, it would be like dead to you. But that's not how it is. It's just like, well, I'm still going to do it, but I'm going to pirate it. So, I get it, but you don't get the money. It's like, if it was that hardcore, you would go to like that extreme. But it's not. You're still kind of in this weird middle ground. It's like, you want that thing. You just won't support them and pay for it. But you still want that thing. And that's how it is. Everything's always in the middle. It's always weird like that. But, hey, Cub. She's definitely about, yep. Yeah, there it is. You want to be in the video? Oh, hold on a second. I think she might be falling asleep. Never mind. All right, little lady. You be on camera with all your slobber. Great way to end the video, I think. Just look at this cute little baby. Look at these cute little babies right here. I shouldn't do that with my daughter because she likes to move and she'll wiggle right out of my arms. She's all messed up right now. She does that when she wakes up. She's like, what the? I can see her eyes. It's cool. We're just talking about chaos. You good? She's good. She's good. But things are crazy. I like the show. I love the show. Actually, I absolutely love the show. I like her character. I don't know what they're going to do now. She was definitely going to be a lead. I'm pretty sure she was going to be the lead of that Republic, the new Ranger show, Rangers of the Republic, whatever it's called. One of the 8 dozen shows they have coming out. I was looking forward to that. It would have been cool to see more of her character. I like her character. I like what she's done in the show, what they've done for her character in the show. And it's just absolute chaos. It's just absolute chaos. I want her back. Personally, because I just think it would help the story just continue along and they don't have to be like, well, dang, now we got to like force this random thing to happen. They hit her with the Poochie mode from The Simpsons, like, and she died when she did that mission. That always sucks for the story. Like, they had plans for her character, and I want to see what they naturally had planned. I don't think it's that crazy, especially if people look at the facts. But sometimes you got to know when to pick your battles. And I felt like, wow, what is going on? Yeah, it looks there, girl. But we'll see what happens. I would love to know your thoughts on this, of course. Support her, against her. In the middle like me, where I'm like, I totally see both sides of the fence. I wouldn't have fired her personally. But I also can't really blame them, mostly due to the fact that it's like, at some point, you do have to realize how hard you're pushing against things and how much you're really not winning that fight. That's something you just have to really deal with, especially with the internet. Even if you're telling the truth, you tell people and explain it. How many people care? How many people check your explanation? That's the thing, that sometimes you do have to recognize you're kind of at fault for not paying attention to how the world works around you. And I feel like that's a part of what she did, where she kept fighting because she's strong enough to do it, but she did not understand how few people give a crap. So she was pushing back against the right people, I'd say personally. Especially with the explanation she specifically gave, but what? You good? But in the end, we'll see what happens. It's pretty nuts right now. I'm definitely not canceling Disney Plus because last year was Star Wars year. It was fantastic. Everything was going great, and even when things first popped up, I was like, I really hope things work out okay because I don't want things to just switch up. But yeah, I even saw some stuff where they're kind of looking for a reason to get rid of her, and they're just tired of having to be like, oh my goodness, everybody keep doing these dumb effing hashtags, fire her and this and that. Also, congrats, I guess, to Pedro Pascal for getting Joel in The Last of Us. That's technically the only reason I found that out was because she got fired, and I happened to see a tweet involving him as well, and it was like, oh dang, good news, bad news situation going on here. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I want to know your thoughts on this. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Like, when you go deep down into it, it was definitely stuff on both sides of the fence. Like, I really think she should have just let it go especially being in the spot. Like, if she was just some random person, of course it would have been like she would just been in some random internet arguments, which even then, never worth the time. Ever. It is never worth the time. It's the internet. But being one of the faces of the show, you really have to be extra conscious of that. And I think she does have to take some blame for not, like, recognizing the fact that she kept going. And it's like, sometimes if you just let it go, what is it, is it Barbara Streisand? The Barbara Streisand effect? You let that crap go. It's the internet. How many memes did we have last year that you don't even remember right now? It's the internet. It'll go away. Like, some people will still bring it up at random, like, remember when that happened? And someone will be like, ha, yeah. No one will care, though. It happened, and then it's gone. Unfortunately, she just kept doing it. And she did it like 4 months straight and just kept making people mad. And then this was just like, too much spotlight. You know, we already do some weird stuff. Too much spotlight, you know. Like, you know, we did this other thing, but we don't want to talk about that. So we can't be having 5 things happening at once. You know, they already got their Mulan thing that they're trying to escape from, and the other Star Wars thing that they're trying to escape from. So they're like, we need to do something. Who knows, people? Star Wars. It's a wild time. Last year was so good. It was like, as crazy as the year itself was, it was like the best Star Wars year ever. And now it's just like, there's so much chaos right now. It's like, I just want Star Wars. That's it. But it is what it is. I know I've ended this video like 5 times now, but I want to know your thoughts on this. Supporter, hater, in the middle. Are you going to cancel Disney Plus? Are you going to pirate Disney Plus? How are you going to watch your shows from now on? For me, I got it, so I'm keeping it. I'm not even paying for it technically, so I can't really cancel it. I'm just stuck there now, I guess. But it is what it is. Would love to know your thoughts. If you want to check out my Star Wars Celebration stuff where I go over the jacket and Grogu and my other little thing, which is absolutely amazing, you can definitely check that out. She sleep the whole time in that video, so not a bunch of weird looks. Are you slobbing? Okay. Not a bunch of weird looks and whatnot, but thanks for checking this out. I really do want to know what you guys are feeling right now. And I would love to know your thoughts. What is going to happen? I feel like I'm doing the end of one of my reviews, like, what are your theories on how this is going to play out? But what's the future of Star Wars? What is the future of, like, Disney at this point with how many people plan on canceling it or you know, pirating it? It'll be interesting to see. But want to know your thoughts on it, so please put your comments down in the comment section below. And, of course, thanks for watching. You want to say bye? You want to just look and do, like, a final goodbye? Check it out. I love that shirt. Look at that. Bug-eyed looks. Crazy.